Ksoo make his face go? More like we won't see his face no more. Like, for real, because it's over with. This is why I understand the street life. Everybody's for themselves and just for greed, man. For real. It's crazy because before, like, looking, trying to find this video, man, I seen the new album Ace drop and, like, his little intro. I don't know if it's an intro or not, but it was a phone call with Ksoo. Talk about, are you ready? It's all about, are you ready to come home? Like, that's crazy, bro. That's funny and messed up. Because deep down, you know your brody ain't coming home. Keep it real. His own pops finna testify against him. And Ksoo, dad, man, just a pure bitch. For real. I could understand if you was a regular civilian, you just living your life, but your son out here doing madness in the streets, doing God knows what he's doing in the streets. I could understand that. But at the same time, I can't understand it because look, if I was in that position, bro, if I'm a regular civilian, right? If my son out here doing what he do in the streets, I'm not finna do the police job for them, bro. And I'm not finna take my son down there. I'm keeping the book. They just gonna have to come find them when they find them and charge them and find what they find. But I'm not finna tell on my son or bring him in. I'm not doing that. That's my son at the end of the day, bro. I'm not doing that. But I'm not going down for him neither. I'm just gonna let the police do their job. If they get him, they get him. That's what it is. But for Ksoo dad, he's not a regular civilian. You was in the street life, bro. So Ksoo definitely got some of that energy from you. You should have been a better role model for him and parent and tell him and try to not be in the street stuff. And teach him not to be in the street life and this and that, man. Like, as a father, bro, you definitely failed him, bro. Like, you a pure bitch, man. I'm keeping the bug, man. That's why I understand this, man. It's really crazy. You really can't trust nobody when it comes to being in this lifestyle, even your own family, man. That's tough. That's what I'm like. I don't care what nobody say. That's why I understand why people call people snitches. A true snitch is somebody that does something the same person doing, and they tell on them. If you a regular person, you're not snitching. You're just telling the truth, bro. Because I'm not going down for you. But now, if I'm out here doing the same mess that you doing, shooting people, killing people, then I tell on you, yeah, I'm a bitch. I'm a bitch ass nigga, bro. I'm definitely a rat and a snitch, for sure. But let's get straight to it and see what this video talking about, man. But this is crazy, bro.
July 28th, 2025. A courthouse within the state of Florida would set an example on national television, a message to the streets of America that there is no honor amongst thieves. But the defendant isn't charged with stealing, he's charged with taking lives. Man, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of EOS. It's 1090J, man. I'm rocking with y'all, and y'all rocking with me. And for this video, we're going to be speaking on Ksoo and his own father taking the stand against him. 26-year-old Hakeem Robinson, who's more commonly known as the rapper Ksoo, has famously made a name within Jacksonville's drill scene as a member of ATK with his close association to Young and Ace. A rap rivalry would seemingly end with the death of Julio Fulio, who was assassinated in Tampa on June of 2024.
I ain't gonna lie, assassinated is crazy, bro. Super crazy. I ain't gonna lie, the thing is so ironic about Fulio's death, man. It's crazy how he died on the 23rd while he was dissing. I know his birthday wasn't, but he was selling his birthday on the 23rd, though. And he died on the 23rd while he was dissing their friend who runs by the name in the street 23 Was the streets names, I ain't gonna lie, bro. They goofy and corny, bro. They goofy as hell, bro. Call himself 23. Well, I can't even say that. I can't even say that, bro. Because I call myself 16 sometimes. I ain't gonna lie to you. I can't even. See, I'm being a hypocrite. Yeah, I called that out for me. But anyway, I'm not in the street life, though. But anyway, it's crazy how, ironically, he died on the 23rd while celebrating his birthday. While he was dissing old dude dying on his birthday. And they call him 23. That was still crazy to me. That's so ironic as hell.
But Ksoo wasn't free to celebrate the drill victory, as he was arrested years prior in 2020. Ksoo is currently standing trial as he is facing first-degree murder for the broad day shooting of Charles Lil Buck McCormick, who was ambushed in a plaza after leaving a job interview. A witness at trial would describe seeing Lil Buck lifeless after the shooting.
Charles was? I did. Now, how close would you say you got to him? All the way to him. And what did you see? His leg was separated, and half his face was gone. His teeth were on the sidewalk.
The Jacksonville Police Department.
That is ridiculous, bro. I don't feel by the way, I don't feel sympathy for none of these people, bro. They just plain stupid. Like, street gang members just scary and goofy to me, bro. Like, y'all just scare little boys and goofy, man. Like, for real, I'm keeping it, man.
Would reveal they use forensic video as well as 3D laser modeling experts to study and determine the height, weight, and build of the shooter seen on video to compare it to Ksoo's dimensions. The two additional suspects who took part in the killing were excluded as their body type did not fit the shooters, while Ksoo was not excluded. Meaning they used all this scientific shit and still can't determine if it was him or not, but they know it.
That's what I'm saying. They really didn't have nothing on him. If they would have just kept all their mouths shut, they would have probably been alright, bro. Well, especially Ksoo. For real. It's crazy. And just make it more crazy, the time that he's already been doing is not going to take off the sentence he's about to get. That's the craziest thing.
Wasn't the other two. Additional evidence would include Ksoo's fingerprint left on a rifle found in a crashed vehicle and his hair on a t-shirt. But this wasn't shit compared to what's next. Dominique Barnes, aka Butter, was the driver during the murder. To save himself, he admitted his participation.
What kind of street name is Butter? Butter? What? What?
But this wasn't shit compared to what's next. Dominique Barnes, aka Butter, was the driver during the murder. To save himself, he admitted his participation in the murder and agreed to testify against his former friend Ksoo. Ksoo's lawyers would argue Butter is nothing more than a paid hitman attempting to save himself, as Butter is testifying for a lesser sentence to secure a 20-year prison deal for 2 murders. And while being betrayed by a friend can be a major blow, in all honesty, it isn't shit compared to what's next. 52-year-old Abdul Robertson Sr., who's more commonly known amongst the streets of Jacksonville as Blue, is none other than Ksoo's father. Blue would also be arrested in this case and charged with accessory after the fact after receiving a call, driving to the shooting scene, and helping Butter and another man named ATK Scotty escape. Facing up to 60 years in prison, Blue would agree to a plea deal reducing his potential sentence to no more than 20 years, while agreeing to testify against his own son. In writing, the state would agree to recommend a sentence of only 76 months, or just over 6 years. Blue would be exposed 2 years prior, when video of his police interrogation dropped, where he could be seen naming his son as the shooter. But on July 28th, Blue took the stand, facing his own son, his own flesh and blood, and said this.
Sitting here today, you realize that you are testifying against not only co-defendants, but family members.
Yes.
Why are you doing that?
I got some health issues. I got 2 6-year-olds and an 8-year-old daughter. My 8-year-old daughter asked me when I'm going to come take her to the daddy-daughter dance. And she asked me over each year when I'm going to come take her there. And I keep letting her down. Then my 6-year-old son, when he asked me if I'm going to come to his football games, come take him fishing.
Man, I'm not trying to hear that shit, bro. I ain't got no sympathy for you, bro. You saying all this BS, but you should have thought about that before doing the shit that you was doing in the streets. And you naming all this shit about your kids. You should have been doing that with all your kids in Ksoo. Instead of being in the fucking streets with them. And now you finna roll up. Now you finna roll over and just give them up, bro. Man, just to save yourself, man. I'm not trying to hear you say about your kids, man. Fuck out of here, bro. You saying all that shit because you ain't trying to do the years, bro. Fuck out of here, man.
6-year-old, he asked me, when I'm gonna come see him. When he begging me, please come see me, daddy. He wanna teach me how to play the game, but he don't know where I'm at. I have I'm diabetic. I'm on high blood pressure. I suffer from congestive heart failure. I just found out June 25th that my kidneys is failing rapidly.
Has becoming a witness in this case negatively...
Mind you got all these health issues, but you still want to roll around the streets with your son, bro. Goofy, man. And now you want sympathy. Like, man, out of here.
Your relationship with your entire family.
Well, I really don't have no more relationship with my family.
So a part of your family completely cut you out.
Yeah.
Is cooperating in this case something that is easy for you to do?
No, this is the most hardest decision I've had to make in my life.
You became aware of a video recording that captured the murder of Charles McCormick, is that correct?
Yes.
And you've had an opportunity during the pendency of your case and the discovery to see that recording.
Yes.
Right. Okay. Did you, when you viewed that recording, recognize the person depicted in it?
Yes.
Who is the person that was captured on the video recording shooting Charles McCormick?
My son.
What's your son's name?
Hakeem.
Now, Young and Ace recently said he spent $50,000 on Ksoo's lawyers, and professional arguments sound great until your own dad tells the courts you did it. If the getaway driver snitching wasn't already bad enough, Ksoo's own damn dad is saying he did it. And keep in mind, this isn't Ksoo's only murder case. He's also charged with killing 16-year-old Lil Bibby, a close friend to the late Julio Fulio. While ATK has seemingly won the war in Jack...
And that man was dissing Bibby like crazy, bro. Like crazy. Wearing Bibby jerseys. Like, just overkill, bro. Like, not even trying to be on no disrespectful-ish, bro. But Bibby was like... bro. I'm not laughing because this is funny, but he was like the Tuka of Jacksonville, bro. How Chicago, they be dissing Tuka like crazy, bro. That was like Bibby for them, bro. Like, just ridiculous, man.
Jacksonville, this is just one of many casualties of war in the streets. Death and prison. With a slim chance of beating this case, Ksoo faces another, and nobody is guaranteed to walk away for snitching either. Ksoo's dad can get all the way up to 20 years, even after testifying. But if the state and judge goes through with the deal, Ksoo's dad could be home within a year because of how much time he's already done in jail. Butter snitched for 20 years.
I thought it didn't work like that. I mean, he did cooperate with the police, I guess. But for Ksoo, no. Even the years he just did, that doesn't apply for the sentence he's finna do. He still got to do that whole life. And those them years that he been in there doesn't even count. That's crazy.
So he doesn't have to die in prison. Because of his role in 2 murders, he still won't be home until he's well over 40 years old. And that's if he doesn't get his sentence reduced by a prison knife. But we'll just have to wait and see how this case plays out.
That's what I'm saying. And you did all this just a so-called 20 years? Like, bro, you probably gonna get killed in there anyway. And for you to be, like, known in the streets, like you in the 90s or someone, I don't know. I just know Ksoo, that he was definitely a street dude. And I think he said he was snitching back then too. Like, you think you finna get away with that? You think you're gonna survive 20 years in prison, bro? You might as well take the whole thing, bro. For real, for real. Cause somebody definitely gonna, man.
Now,
For you to be a snitch and snitch on your own son too.
this isn't a prime example of there's no loyalty in the streets, I don't know what is. This man's own father testified against him, calling his own son a reliable shooter, saying he's heard about the work his son has put in on the streets, and saying, yeah, that video, that's him, that's my son. I can't imagine how it feels to be Ksoo. Not only did your homie fold, but that's expected, right? Most people get told on by their homies. But your own father. And his father, the craziest thing, and I saw it in the comment section, people pointing it out. His father gave a reason for snitching. And as he has these other little kids asking him when he's going to see them, when he's going to take them to school, when he's going to do this, when he's going to do that. And if you had did that for fucking Ksoo, none of this would even be a thing. If you were a parent then, you wouldn't be using being a parent as an excuse to get out of the situation you're now in. You only want to be a parent because you don't want to go do 20 years.
Bro, I literally said the same thing. Literally. Man.
And it's sad that this is the situation. Ksoo's dad clearly wasn't a positive influence on his life. Blue had a name in Jacksonville. And apparently they say he cooperated back in the 90s or the early 2000s. I don't know if that's true or false. But his dad is very much a street dude. So you're the very same person that gave Ksoo the image in which he wanted to be. You gave him the blueprint. And when he became more of a solidified gangster than you, and you got involved in his shit, because you decided to pick up a phone and go pick people up after they just committed a broad day shooting, blew this kid's face off, then the 2 others broke into a lady's home, held her hostage, changed into her husband's clothes until they got picked up by you, and now you want to fold and testify against everybody. Me personally, I don't feel like Blue was a victim in this case. I don't feel like Ksoo was a victim in this case. I feel like Ksoo was a victim of circumstance. Clearly he was raised amongst irresponsible parents. He was raised by Blue, who projected he was a gangster, and Ksoo had that instilled in him at an early age. And growing up in Jacksonville, he became what he became, right?
Look, for me, in my opinion, I got uncles, cousins, friends that been in the street life. Don't get me wrong, Ksoo's father is definitely responsible, you know what I'm saying, for Ksoo not being like a mature parent, you know, a good figure for him to look up to. Definitely a bad figure. But I'm just saying this in my personal opinion, Like, it's definitely part of his fault, but I just feel like if you just a strong, I don't know how to put this. I don't want to say a strong person, but it's like, if it's just like if you got a mind of your own will, bro, you will do your own thing. You will follow your own path. You wouldn't be so influenced by other people and stuff. Like, I had many friends, family, uncles who been in around this street, whatever life, whatever you want to call it, bro. But I never got influence of wanting to do that stuff, bro. Look, that's just me in my personal opinion, bro. But his parents are definitely had some held responsible for that. Some responsible of that for sure. But I'm just saying, I never got influenced that. And I've been around that stuff. But I never got influenced into doing stuff like that, bro. Because I got my own will. I got my mind on the own. I'm not influenced by no other people, bro. I'm influenced by God and myself. That's it. I'm doing my own path. That's real stuff, man.
He did this, he's obviously gonna have to pay the consequence. If he didn't, it would be fucking insane to see him beat this case. And then he has another murder case on top of that. I'm not even gonna get started about the Bibby case because Ksoo has so many songs and videos dissing Bibby. If he actually did that, you pretty much just gave yourself a sentence with the amount of self-snitching he's done. But this is a reality within the streets of America. Y'all want to go to war in the streets? Well, this is a casualty of war. You die, innocent people die, you go to prison, you go to jail, you lose everything, you never come home. And I think one of the craziest aspects about this case is when I early on started getting paperwork, Jacksonville was the easiest place to do it. You go on the core website, Duval County Clerk, and you can look up any paperwork in Jacksonville, any arrest, whatever. That's literally how they were able to find Charles Lil Buck McCormick. They went on the core website, saw he had a traffic ticket, saw his address, went to his crib, followed him to the plaza, and murdered him. The same way.
That's crazy as hell. So they literally just got public information to find him and kill him. That's crazy.
I'm finding paperwork on rappers and criminal cases is the same way they found an address and identified the vehicle so they could murder somebody. That's the scary thing about public information, is when it falls into the wrong hands. But hey, let me know y'all's thoughts and comments in the comment section. Do y'all think Ksoo has a chance of beating this case?
No, he doesn't have no chance. It's already over. Didn't they just say he got life? Didn't they just say he got life? And I know earlier he said ATK won the war. Nobody ain't won no war. Nobody ain't won no war, bro. Not both sides. Like, look at Younger Ace now, bro. And shout out to Young, you know what I'm saying? Young Ace cool. Like, I'm not finna call Young Ace trash, bro. Cause I mess with some of this music, but the thing with Young Ace, he just sound like everybody else to me. I'm keeping him up. Like, his voice, I don't know, his sound don't stand out enough like other people, bro. But he ain't trash though. But look at Young and Ace though, bro. You got literally dead homies. It's just like, how you gonna say you won the war, but at what cost? If you won this war, but at what cost, bro? You lost your homie, your brother, in the ground. Ksoo locked up for life. Over what, bro? Like, I really want to know the reason behind how it got so deadly. And I bet you it was over some little petty stuff, bro. Because I know Fulio's cousin got killed by one of Young Ace homies. That's how it all started. But what triggered that though? What was the reason for him to kill, bro? Over some small stuff. I bet you it was over small stuff, bro. And I know they said they got into it in the party or another person. I don't know, man, but all this stuff is really start over small ish, just turn deadly. And it ain't gotta be like that. Just fight it out, get your lick in, and go about your day, man. Just ignorant and stupid, man. That's why this game life is just stupid. And they just scary, man. But literally, like, look at Young and Ace, man. Like, how can you say you won when you literally got dead friends on the ground? Your best friends locked up for life. And he got, like, blood brothers that are gone because of the street life. You not gonna be the same. Your mama ain't gonna be the same when she lost, like, 3 of your brothers, like, 3 of her sons. At what cost, bro? Over a little petty stuff, man. Don't make sense, man. It's just stupid. Like, for real, man. Like, yeah, you living now. You feel me? Your biggest op gone. But, trust me, bro. Your life ain't gonna be the same no more, bro. Your brother's gone. You lost, like, 3 of your blood brothers. You lost friends. You lost your best friend for life. Now, like, come on, man. Just ain't gonna be the same. But like, comment, subscribe, y'all. I'm out. That's all I gotta say, man. I don't have no sympathy for none of these people, though. Just stupid life, bro. I'm keeping the buck. Look, did all that laughing, all this and that, and now you crying. It's crazy. It's crazy. Case will make your space go. Now public won't see your face no more. You won't be out doing what you want to do, going to the movies, meeting girls, like going shopping, like eat, like bro, you can't, like, you literally locked up like an animal now, bro. You literally won't see the outside of the world again, bro. That's crazy, man. That's why people need to start thinking before they do stuff like this, and start thinking about themselves sometimes too, bro. Like, do you really want to do this life? Was it really worth it? Man, I'm out, y'all.